Julio Enciso, take a bow. The Brighton Loney lit up Goodison Park with a rocket that sparked a stunning Ipswich fightback. And in what could have been a goodbye win for Everton, David Moyes' men let it slip. Let's break it all down.
You see the keeper favouring one side and go for the other, or what was he thinking?
Just when I'm that far out, it's all about, for me, it's technique and connecting right, and that's what I wanted to do with the ball, get the movement, and I'd have a chance going in, and luckily it went in for me. So no, it was nice to contribute against the team because I've missed that feeling for being out for so long. But like I say, for me, I'm more disappointed about not winning the game today.
One more game left at Goodison. How important that you finish on a high?
Oh yeah, definitely. We wanted to finish on high with two wins. That was our goal, and like I say, we didn't get the job done today, and now it makes the last one against Southampton even more important.
Crucially, how are you bearing up? Have you come through it okay?
Yeah, I've come through it okay. A bit tired towards the end, but no, I'm just happy that I'm fit and healthy again.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
And they will play out their final home game ever at Goodison Park in 15 days' time against Southampton. So before we see Dwight McNeil's goal, let's see how Everton took the lead initially. Better, Owen.
Yeah, to be fair, he's brilliant in the air. Does really well, link-up play. Alcaraz gets it out wide, Mikalenko. And then it just takes a little block. But I love this ball from Alcaraz. And credit Beto, he's always on the move. He knows exactly when that ball's going to come in. The height of it's perfect, but it's a brilliant header. Really is. Yeah. The difference between him under David Moyes has been astonishing. It's been fantastic.
Yeah. He's only got the minutes.
Yeah, because he used the strength of the player. The Ipswich, they haven't really closed the player who's willing to cross. A great crossing, and Beto, that's what he does best. You've got the height, you've got the ability, just guide it into the goal, and it's the perfect start for Everton.
At this point, Everton were in total control, and they doubled their lead through the man we've just heard from. He was trying to explain the technique behind it. Who better to talk about than you two? I mean, this was some strike from Dwight McNeil.
Of course, and he talks about that every time he's got opportunity from a distance, he does fancy his chance, and he's got a great strike. Don't get me wrong, he's scored many goals in his career through that distance, and today it was no exception, and it was a great strike. I would question the goalkeeper. You know my view about it. You know, I know he was moving one side, but you have to get a better position. Maybe the view, but it was a great strike.
Do you agree with Stillin, or is that a bit harsh?
I'm giving it to the player today. He hits it beautifully. He cuts across that. You know, that's a fabulous strike from a good player. He's a striker. He should score a bit more. I think he means this. He made a really good point. Because he's further out, he hits it with his laces, and it just dips away from the keeper. To be fair, I'll give that to him. To be fair, keeper has no idea where it's going, right or left.
If that was a great goal, what about this then from Julio Enciso to pull it back to 2-1 just before half-time? Stillian.
I mean, this is what it's football about. Quick fit, fast feet, and then when you've got that opportunity, you have to take a gamble. But when you have such a quality, you just take the chance, and this is a great goal. It's a great... Even the Everton players were looking and thinking, this is a great game.
Well, he did something against Manchester City on the final game of the season.
Yeah.
Manish, he's an incredible ball striker. Obviously, he's had a bit of injuries, hasn't played at Brighton, gone on loan to Ipswich. Hasn't really worked out for him, but there's a fantastic player in there, a brilliant ball striker.
It's only a matter of time until he's in the first team at Brighton.
No, he will be, yeah. But obviously, I think they've got a lot of players in his position. He's done the right thing to go and play.
Yeah.
But he'll want to score more goals like that. Even Jordan Pickford, give him a high five. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
I think he deserved a high five from that goal.
But that wasn't over, of course, because Ipswich had time to get a second and complete the comeback. Before we see George Hurst's far post header, I'd like to get your take, actually, Stillin. Was there a foul in the build-up? A head injury on Nathan Patterson, or not?
I don't think so. I think soft. Obviously, you've got the linesman. The linesman is not flagging. He's not signalling at all. The referee, I think, is a good advantage. I don't think he's a dangerous player or something that we could really concern. Obviously, the linesman is closer. But again, here, another advantage as well. And this is just a great header. We talked about today about a great goal, but this is something, you know what, difficult goal for a striker.
And to be fair, Hutchinson does brilliantly. He's on his own out there, can't really come inside because they got numbers, goes on the outside, stands it up beautifully, and it's a really good goal. We've seen a lot of goals on crosses today, but I love that from Hutchinson. And you can't whip it because it will get blocked out, stands it up. And Hurst does great. To be fair, O'Brien should jump. I mean, he's 6'6". If he jumps, he wins it. But
yeah,
he gets twisted around. But I just thought it was a fantastic ball.
But Hurst, as a striker, that, you know, being in that position, you focus, you just wait for that ball, you get the jump, and you just wait. And the header was perfect.
Yeah.
Well done.
So it wasn't to be for Everton in their penultimate home game at Goodison. 15 days' time to take on Southampton. How special will that occasion be for them?
Yeah, one of the best stadiums, I think. You know, one of the hardest games to go and play at Goodison. The fans, the games that they've seen over the years, the competitive spirit, you knew it was always going to be a game when you went there. So, be a sad day, obviously, I think, for everyone, the memories. But they look forward to a brand new stadium. David Moyes, you know, in his second time in charge there at a new stadium. It feels very fitting that he's going to be there to see Goodison off and into the new stadium.
Yeah.
Be
Goodison
emotional.
has a nice place in your heart, doesn't it?
Of course, yeah. Well, have you scored there?
No. I never got up the pitch.
Yeah.
No, but it will be really emotional. I mean, it's a great club, great stadium, a very difficult place to go and play. So it'll be really emotional for the players, for the manager, and for the fans as well.
Absolutely.
If you could just let me know if you want to ask a question, I'll make sure we come to everyone. And then in the meantime, Watson can get us underway.
Hey Kieran, it looked like it might be a familiar story for your team today. Started quite well, find yourself 2-0 down, but you must be delighted with the character, with the comeback.
Yeah, it was certainly a difficult spot to be in, both in terms of how we've come into the game and the challenges again we've had this week, just getting a fit group together to start the game and trying to get some players back for the bench, and coming here knowing that it was a big day for Everton as well. So yeah, I didn't think we started badly, but two moments really that, you know, it's the level. Better was really good on crosses and we didn't defend him well enough, and then we should do, it's a good strike, but we should do better with it, and you're in a really difficult spot then in the game and in your season. But the group really stuck at it. Of course, it was a great goal to get us back in it, but the goal also probably doesn't happen if the group have, you know, stopped believing and dropped their heads at that point. And yeah, I thought we were good value for a couple of goals. Thought we played some good football, defended with pretty good organisation, didn't give Everton too much, and thought we were value for a point.
Just a bit more on that strike from Julio. We know he's got it in his locker from, done it a few times for Brighton. Does he do it in training?
Yeah, he does. He's he's got an incredible show reel for a young player, certainly. But yeah, it's, you know, in some ways frustrating that we haven't had him for more of the season, to be honest, because, you know, we arrived late and then he had an injury pretty soon after coming, and that individual quality that, you know, pretty much every team at this level has lots of, that can win you points and win you games, and Julio's certainly one who can do that. So yeah, we're enjoying having him. I think it's a testament to him, how he's working for the group, to be honest, because, you know, of course he's a lone player here for a short while, and he's not, you know, quite been able to get the momentum up that we would have wanted early enough in the season, but he's stuck at it. The group have stuck with him. They know he's a talent, they know he can make a difference with us, so they're pushing him, they're helping him improve. He's improving, and the players who come to us tend to do so, and you can see him getting better and maturing by the week. And yeah, he made a big difference for us today. He's made a big difference for us at Stamford Bridge, at Bournemouth, and we would have loved to have had him, you know, a little bit earlier.
Subs make an impact today. That must be pleasing for you as well.
Yeah. No, the bench is getting a little bit stronger than it has been in recent weeks. So it was nice to have Calvin sort of back available, and Omari back, which then enables you to have Jack or someone else on the bench. So yeah, we're still not anywhere near full strength, of course, but I think we'll get stronger over the next couple of weeks, and we know the bench can make a big difference at this level. So the three boys who came on, especially early, done really well and give us energy whenever we started to lack it, probably, and delighted for George with a goal.
Just in general terms, the character of this group, the relegation to have been confirmed last week, to come from 2 goals down with the context of what this game means to Everton.
Yeah, I think that's evident, and to be honest, I think it's been there all season. You know, some days it's harder to show it than others, with the level of the opponent, but I think it's been there all season and shown again today. In a difficult circumstance, everyone stuck at it, even at, you know, the start of the second half. We started really well, but then there was a spell where we had to defend all together for 10 minutes with real discipline, and even at 2-1 down, everyone was prepared to do that, and you do that, you give yourself a chance to, you know, push on later in the game and get the goal back. So yeah, I don't think there's any question mark around that. It's how it has to be. The supporters deserve it, and, you know, that's what we have to keep on showing.
Thank you.
Ta.
Kieran, just just a loan, and he will go back to Brighton when the season's over, or is there any option to keep him?
No, look, it's a contractual thing, but there's no option to keep him. He's a big talent, and he's a Brighton player come the summer.
Yeah, George, proper striker's goal, but he's done very well, hasn't he? Every time he's played really this season.
Yeah, he has. It's another, I think, will be a frustration for us in the summer because we've missed him this season a lot, to be honest, when he hasn't been available. And yeah, he makes a good impact off the bench when he's had his chances to start. He's done really well. He probably deserves to play more, but Liam's form has been very good. But I think he's developing really well. I think he's got a great chance. I think those, profile of strikers, if you're saying taller, sort of maybe gangly in his early 20s strikers, they tend to, I think, develop a little bit later at times. And often you look at some of the ones who've gone on to do really well at 24, 25, they're certainly not where they are at 28, 29, 30. So yeah, I think he's got a good chance to keep developing, and he's maturing well, and a really good moment for him.
You mentioned lots of late calls at your press conference the other day. How many were there, and who specifically?
Yeah, look, I think we were working the start of the week where we've been the last few weeks with a group of sort of 13, 14. All the boys who were on the bench who've back in, so Jens, Calvin, Axel, not fit to start the game, but made themselves available for the team really. Omari, of course, good to get him back in the side today, and we're missing, probably our 4 first choice fullbacks, if you want to call it that, which is pretty unusual. So again, it's a back line of 2 centre halves out of position really in the fullback positions, and Wolfie and Burge really stepping up. So yeah, a lot of challenges, but the boys have coped with it well.
And the second Everton goal, did it take a deflection? We couldn't really see from the
I don't think it did. There's a lot of swerving. Dwight Neil's done that before, and it's not easy to read. I'm sure we'll maybe look at it and think we could do better. I think it's just a swerve on the ball.
Just about Hurst as well. Obviously, Liam has had a lot of publicity this season, and rightly so, I guess. But for the other players, does that kind of inspire them? I'm sure there's no jealousy, but do you know what I mean? For people like him who is playing second fiddle and then he gets his chance to score his goal, it must be a good feeling for him.
Yeah, it will be. Look, everyone's pleased for each other in that group when anyone individually does well. So we know that Liam's goal tally's been good and his performances have been good and had plenty of notice. But George knows, he can feel it day to day that he's getting better. He feels it, and we all see it in training. And he's managed to show it at Premier League level, and it's a big jump from where he was a couple of years ago. He's not even had that much time really playing Championship football as a starter. He only really had the first half of last season. So, yeah, at 25, I think what he still is, the way he's growing physically and mentally, I think he's got a great chance to keep pushing on.
You mentioned Liam Delap there. He seems to enjoy the physical battle, engaging with the centre-backs, but there was that moment in the first half where obviously he got himself a yellow card, and then there was a foul straight afterwards. And then it felt like maybe he pulled out of a potential challenge just ahead of the Dwight McNeil goal. Do you think that this is something that you're going to have to maybe speak to him about, being able to pick your battles when it comes to that physical side of the game?
No, Liam knows this. He likes to play on the edge, and it's a strength of his, so he knows he needs to manage it, and he's done it pretty well this year.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
David, just how frustrating is it to have been in such a commanding position and to have relinquished that lead?
We're disappointed. We never shook Ipswich off really. They were always there or thereabouts. We just couldn't quite get enough. But I thought we'd done a lot of good things. We've tried some different things today as well to see how players play in different roles. I thought we'd done really well in the opening part of the game. First sort of 30 minutes or so, I thought we played really well. Got the goals eventually, but I think the goal just before half time for them just sort of rocked us a little bit. Always gave Ipswich something to keep going at, and we couldn't quite get the third goal to get ourselves sort of clear.
You said you tried a few new things today. Did you feel like you learned anything about this group of players, or any players in particular?
Well, it's sort of things that a lot of the supporters have been asking about Ellie playing as a 10, and and wanting to see more of Charlie Alcaraz. So we've given them another good opportunity to show what they can do. getting Dwight back, first time I've had Dwight since I've been at the club. I thought he scored a good goal. Still lacked a bit of intensity in his play in the first half. I actually thought he got better in the second half. Put in 3 or 4 brilliant crosses for us in the second half, which probably, if we'd got on the end of one of them, you know, it might have just seen us over the line, really. So the game was always tight, but you know, we should have been done a bit better. We've had it a couple of times now. We've been 2 up and not seen it out.
What do you put that down to? Is it a lack of quality, or is it mentality? Or?
No, I think if I'm just answering it really easily, you know, I think if we all knew the answer, well, we'd make sure it doesn't happen again. You know, I think it's a bit understanding how to see the game through. I thought we made a couple of terrible decisions, a couple of players on the pitch for the second goal regarding runs and tackles and whatnot when neither were needed, and we sort of left ourselves a bit exposed.
And what was your message to the players at the end?
Probably a bit what we're saying. I'm disappointed we didn't win, but I think there's a lot of positives from where we've been and how we're playing and what we're doing, trying to make the chances. We didn't have enough shots in the second half, but I thought we'd near enough control most of the game up until the last 5 minutes, or even after only the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes when they got a couple of corners and long throws at that point, whatever time that was. I thought in the main we controlled the game, and they scored near enough. I wouldn't say on the break, but certainly on a bit like that.
Thank you.
Dave?
Just on Beto, David, because he just seems to get better for you. That was a lovely header. From him.
It was a great header, and actually it was something which, I think the other thing is, a great delivery from Charlie as well, which I've been talking a lot about getting better assists and better finishes. Well, that was a good one. You know, we had 1 or 2 other moments where maybe we could have done a little bit better. I thought in the first half our crossing in the box wasn't as good as it should have been. I thought the second half it got better. But overall, Beto's done great. Gets himself another goal today. So he's been doing really well, Beto. We're pleased with him.
He's your joint top scorer now with Ndai on 9, which isn't bad because it's been hard for him. He's got 6 under yourself, really.
Yeah. Well, look, I think if you know better than me, if you worked out probably what it would be like if he'd played a lot more of the games, you might be saying, hey, this could be somebody who's got 14, 15 goals maybe. So we hadn't scored for a couple of games there, though, with draws, and we didn't get any goals. So, but I think today he got a goal, and maybe he could have had another one as well.
Any further questions, guys?
All good.
Is that it?
That's it. Better get home, lads and ladies.
In a game full of moments and missed opportunities, it ended Everton 2, Ipswich Town 2. The Toffees led 2-0, thanks to Beto and Dwight McNeil, but a stunner from Enciso and a late header by George Hurst meant the points were shared, and the boos rang out. Everton fans came ready to party, and early on, it looked like they'd be rewarded. Beto got the opener on 26 minutes with a well-guided header from Carlos Alcaraz's perfect cross. Then Dwight McNeil doubled the lead with a swerving, low-pile driver that beat Alex Palmer all ends up. 2 goals up, Goodison bouncing, but then came that moment. Enter Julio Enciso. In the 41st minute, he picked it up from deep and let fly from 30 yards. The ball soared, dipped, smacked the underside of the bar, and crashed in. Goal of the season contender. Absolutely. It was a bolt of hope for an already relegated Ipswich, and the momentum swung. The second half was tighter, but Ipswich kept probing. In the 79th minute, Omari Hutchinson's cross deflected up, and George Hurst climbed above Jake O'Brien to head in the equaliser. From 2-0 down to 2-2, Ipswich showed heart, grit, and flashes of top-flight quality. Enciso and Hurst were the difference. For Everton, it's now 1 win in 10 league games. A once promising revival under Moyes is fizzling, and with just 1 Goodison match left, against Southampton on May 18th, the pressure's on to finish strong. For Ipswich, the championship beckons, but performances like this will give Kieran McKenna something to build on. Enciso, in particular, may have reminded Brighton, and others, what a weapon he can be. Was Enciso's strike the best goal of the Premier League weekend? And should Everton pursue Liam Delap next season? Let us know in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, And don't forget to ring the bell for more deep dives, match reactions, and transfer news. This is Sport Lab. See you next time.